Hi all, today we're going to be talking about series circuit. So let's get started. In order to calculate a series circuit, you're going to be having three variables. R, resistance, a measure of the opposition to current flow in an electrical circuit. I, current, or a flow of electrical charges around a circuit. V, voltage, or the amount of potential energy between 2 points on a given circuit. So, for each of the given variables, they have separate rules to be followed. For instance, for resistance, you have to add up all of the R values to calculate for RT. So a written out formula would look like RT equals R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus Rn, or the given number of resistance values on a given circuit. For current, as you may recall, for series circuit, there's only one path for the current to flow through. So the current is going to stay the same throughout each resistor. And a written out formula for current would look like IT equals I1, which equals I2, which equals I3, which equals IN, or the given number of current values on the circuit. Now for voltage, you have to add up all of the voltage values to calculate VT, just like resistance. So a written out formula for voltage would look like VT equals V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus Vn, or the given number of voltage values for the circuit. Now, as you may recall, Ohm's law states that voltage is equal to current times resistance. Oftentimes, throughout the circuit's process, you'd be asked to analyze and calculate for I or R. But in this case, we're asked to calculate V. So with some basic algebra, you can solve for each of the other, but we also have a simple technique, which is the triangle method. In the triangle method, you lay out V, I, R in this manner, and by covering up I, you see that you get V over R, which is the formula for I. You cover up R, you get V over I, which is the formula for resistance. And when you cover up V, you're going to get I times R, which is the formula for voltage, as you can see in the image below. Alright, I think we have enough knowledge to solve an actual problem, so let's get started. So in this example, we have R1, which equals 17 ohms, R2, which equals 12 ohms, and R3, which equals 11 ohms. And we have 60 volts as our given VT. So our first step is to calculate RT. This is because we're given both or all three R1s, R2s, and R3 values. So we're going to do 17 plus 12 plus 11, which equals 40 ohms, which is RT. Step 2 is to calculate IT. We're going to calculate IT because we have RT, which we just calculated as 40 ohms, and VT, which was given to us as 60 volts. With Ohm's law, we can figure out that IT is equal to VT over RT, which hence equals 60 over 40, which equals 1.5 amps. Step 3 would be to calculate I. This is the easiest because we know that IT equals I1, which equals I2, which equals I3. Hence, each of the I values would equal 1.5 amps. Now, this leaves us to our last and final step. This is because we have RT, R1, R2, R3 all given, or RT solved through the given R values. We have IT, which we solved using RT and VT, and we have I1, I2, and I3 because IT equals all of these. And now we only have to solve for V1, V2, and V3, which can be done using Ohm's law. By doing so, you get V1 as 25.5 volts, V2 as 18 volts, and V3 as 16.5 volts. Now finally, I like laying them all out this way so that you can put all of the answers together and it's easier to check. 17 plus 12 plus 11 equals 40 ohms, current stays the same, and 25.5, 18 plus 16.5 equals 60. Therefore, you have your circuit.